Well, welcome back to the Socially Awesome podcast. My name is Elise Smith, and I am so excited to be coming to you with episode 4. In September, we're doing all things branding. I have a serious passion for branding and style guides and creatively helping brands make their visual just awesome. There's no better word for it. So if you didn't listen to the last 3 episodes, I highly recommend you binging them before the Build a Brand workshop, because I am hosting a Build a Brand workshop on September 22nd from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll make sure the registration link is in the show notes for you. But I have so many entrepreneurs that have come to me and said, look, I want to do stories that stop the scroll or stop the swipe. I want to make those cool intro videos for my YouTube channel. I want to learn how to make reels on Canva because I just don't want to show my face every day. That's what we're doing in this workshop. So this workshop is not your typical webinar that you signed up for that you forgot about, like that free masterclass that they sent you the recording the next day and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot to watch that. Or the one that you binged really quickly and took notes and didn't implement. No, ma'am, that's not what we're doing here. This workshop is get your laptop out, get a babysitter, put the time on your calendar to work on your business. We're doing all things elevating, okay? Now, to be prepared for the workshop, you need to have your brand kit ready. At least your colors, your fonts, and your logo, okay? Those are the 3 minimum things you need to have. So if you're someone who doesn't have a brand kit yet, you don't know the importance of a brand kit, go back and reference the last 3 episodes. But if you're just sitting there and you're like, I haven't started yet, I don't have time to do it, I'm not creative enough to do it, I want help, I have several packages that are discounted severely of mini branding kits to get you ready for this workshop. So if you have any questions about branding or brand kits, you can get with me. Get in my Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs, my free Facebook community. I have several examples in there that could give you inspiration or can show you what I can do to help you, okay? So I won't spend much more time on that. You know how to reach me if you need me, but I do brand kits for a living. So please don't sit there and say, you don't have a brand kit because I want you to have one. Okay, I can help you. Let me help you. So today we're going to talk about some of those things that you might not know you can incorporate into your branding kit. And a lot of people are going to sit there today and listen to this and say, this is way more high level than I need. But if you know my backstory, you know I came from a very large organization that's a global brand. And these are things that you could probably consider very early on. And I'll prove to you why today, okay? So here's a quick list of some things that you should consider when you're setting up your kit. If you already have your kit, now you could go back and think about these things now. So the first thing is going to be your brand identity. So it is very important that you incorporate your brand identity into your brand kit. One, your logo, your colors, and your font should all represent your brand identity. But what I mean by that is personalizing it. So I'll give you an example. Yelp, the platform where you can review foods, they call their brand kit a cookbook. Isn't that cool? You can actually call it whatever you want, but consider your brand identity and what you're trying to portray to your audience, okay? You also can include the story of your brand. So we're talking about the history, your mission, your values. These eventually, when you get on such a large scale, your brand kit might be something that you send to other people. So I'll give you an example. If I was doing a community outreach event and I was a big global brand and I'm going to donate something to this local nonprofit of mine that wants to partner with me. And they're like, hey, we want to put your logo on our Facebook page so that we can give you a shout out. I would send them as a large corporation, or even now, today, as a solopreneur, I would send them my brand kit. And you can create some rules in there. And what that does is that makes sure that they don't put your logo and slap it on a cow print background, right? Or something that's going to make your logo look off-brand. So it's important for you to have a couple rules. For instance, one of my rules might be do not put my logo on yellow. Or you should know what your brand looks good on and what it doesn't look good on. So you can create those rules. Don't Don't stretch my logo over this many inches or whatever because it might distort it. Don't put it on yellow. Please don't put it on backgrounds. This is you. You don't even have to say please. This is your brand. You get to make the rules. So you will know as you're using your logo for yourself, you will start to learn what it looks good with and what it doesn't look good with. And you absolutely would send this brand kit to people that you're partnering with for podcasts or, like I said, donations. If you're partnering on an event or something like that, you would give them your brand kit so they know how they can and can't use your logo. The story of your brand is important to include in there as well so that the captions and the copywriting isn't off brand. You don't want to have a very bold brand like me have a sympathetic copyright. It's just not matching my brand. It's not on point for me. So make sure you include some of your brand story in there, okay? You can also include your target audience. So depending upon who they're talking to, they know what type of copyright to use. I highly recommend you picking some competitors necessarily or some icons, some people that you look up to in your space and find their brand kits. A lot of times if they're very large corporations, you can just Google it. It's on their website. But you could also just check out their about page, check out their branding, look to see if they're using it cohesively and get some ideas there, okay? You can also, of course, hire a branding specialist when you're starting to scale and you really need to up that game. Now, some other ideas I will tell you. You can look up, I'll tell you Hulu, Hulu, the app that you watch TV shows on. Their brand kit's over 100 pages. Now, I'm not to that point yet, don't worry. But they are very clear and efficient and concise on exactly how you can use their branding. They also have pages on specific campaigns. So if they're running a certain campaign, they include that in their branding kit, probably for future use, where if they have a new employee, they can look at there and say, okay, this is what they did last time. Also, so that when they do partner with shows or different movies and things that they want to bring on their platform, they just send them this brand kit. And that's it. It makes it easy that it's up to the person that is going to be using that logo to follow the rules. Now, don't be afraid to ask for approval. You own this business. So absolutely ask them to send you a final, if anyone's using your logo, a final revision for you to approve before it goes live. You own this business and you need to make these rules, okay? I'll tell you too, there is a brand called Impossible Foods. I recommend you look theirs up as well. They have actually turned their branding kit into like a media kit. So a media kit is something that a lot of influencers use, and they send it to brands. It has their contact information that says, hey, I want to partner with you and be an influencer for your brand. Here's my contact information. Here's how many followers I have. Here's my engagement rate. It's selling yourself to a brand. So Impossible Foods has pretty much combined their media kit with their brand kit. And it's kind of cool because ideally it is something that you could send if you have a news release or if you are being recognized at a conference or you want to partner with a brand. So consider incorporating your media kit and your brand kit and kind of molding those together, okay? So the last thing I will tell you is to really think about what design tools people are going to use when making this. So what I mean by that is you might be using Canva if you're not an experienced graphic designer, which is great. I love Canva. I use Canva all the time. Although I do know how to use, Adobe products, most people are going to use Canva. So something to consider would be if you include your hex codes in there, which are going to be your color codes from Canva, you can also include your RGB codes or you can put it in several different formats because different companies might be using different tools. So just kind of think about that, consider that, make sure you have it available in different formats. You can have it in a PDF format, a PNG format. So just make sure you're considering that as well so it translates really easy from one person to the next. So I know that was a ton of content in 10 minutes, and I am hoping you're getting some value out of this. I hope you're registered for the branding workshop. If you're not, the registration is in the show notes. Make sure you get registered. It is in 2 days, and I can't wait. I can't wait to dive into this content with you. So, 2 other things really quick. I want to invite you to join Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs, my free community. I give tips and tricks in there daily, okay? I also want to tell you, if you love this and you're getting content that you can use, if you're getting value out of this, please, I would appreciate a review. This is episode 4. I'm a brand new podcaster, and reviews are gold for me, okay? So I would appreciate a review. Last thing, I want to give you a tip. When you're building your brand online and you're building your audience, it's so important to get out in front of other people's audiences. So if you want to get out in front of my audience, take a screenshot of this on your phone, tag me in your stories at Elise1Smith. The spelling will be in the show notes as well. And I will share it to my audience so that you can get in front of my audience as well and help build your brand too. It's a give and a take, and I want to give back to you for listening and being a listener of my brand new podcast. So with that being said, I am out. I hope everyone has a very safe week, and I will see you in the workshop.